Here for the most memory components, the number of locations is power of 2. Thus a memory with 2 power n locations would have the address ranging from 0 to 2 power n minus 1, requiring an n bit address. Here in each location stores m bits of encoded information. Here we are going to store each location with m bit memory. And the total number of bits in the memory component is 2 power n into m. Here the memory size are referred by the following multiple prefixes denoting powers of 2. That is kilo, k is equal to 2 power 10, that is 1024, and mega we are going to indicate by m, that is 2 power 20, and that is equal to 1024 into 2 power 10, that is 48576, and giga you are going to identify as g, and that is 2 power 30, and it is denoted as 1024 into 2 power 20, that is 107374 bits. You can take one example. If your memory has 32768 locations, each of bits 32 bits, what is the total capacity of the memory, and how many address bits does it require? You can copy that question. I take the solution. Here the capacity is 1048576 bits, that is 2 power 20 bits. Since 2 power 15 is equal to 32768, here the memory requires of 15 address lines. Here when referring to memory sizes, we usually use the following multiplier prefixes denoting the powers of 2, that is kilo, k is equal to 2 power 10, that is 1024 bits, and mega, that is 2 power 20, that is equal to 1024 into 2 power 10, that is 1048576, and next is giga, that is g, 2 power 30, that is 1024 into 2 power 20, that is 1073741824, and it has the capacity of 1 megabit. Note that the multiplier values are closer to but slightly greater than the decimal multiplier values with the same names. We use an uppercase K for the binary multiplier 2 power 10. Next to take one more example. For example, a 1-bit memory might be organized as a 32K, that is 32-bit memory, as shown in this figure. 32-bit memory. Bit memory are as shown in the example 5.1 or as a 16K 64-bit memory, that is 64K 16-bit memory, and so on. Here a memory of a certain capacity can be organized in different ways by varying the number of locations and the number of bits per location. Here the memory of a certain capacity is organizing by ways of varying the number of locations and the number of bits per location. For example, a 1 megabit memory might be organized as a 32K into 32-bit memory, as shown in this figure. Here the number of locations and the size of each locations are determined by the application requirements. Here the number of locations and size are depending upon the application requirements. Here the two basic memory operations are writing binary data to location and reading the content of the location. Here it's going to perform two basic operations. Memory writing by the data to a location and reading the content of for the location. Here for both operations we need to provide the address of the location to be written or read on the set of the input signals the memory component. Here for a write operation we provide the data to write as a further set of input signals, and for the read operation the memory component provides the data as the set of output signals. Here we can control the write operation using the control signals generated by the control section of the digital system that contains the memory component. Here the signal A is the address and encoded using an unsigned binary number. And the signal D underscore in and D underscore out, D underscore in and D underscore out carry the data to be written and the data read respectively. The encoding of these signals depends on its applications. Here the control signal, En. Here this is a control signal En enable, that is enable, and WR is the write. Here when enable is 0, the memory simply maintains all of the stored data. When the enable is 1 and the WR is that is write is 1, the memory writes data present on the D underscore in inputs at the location whose address is present on the inputs. Next, when enable is 1 and WR is 0, the memory reads the component of the location whose address is present on the A inputs and writes the data value on the D outputs. We are going to make enable as 1 and WR is low. The memory reads the content of the location whose address is present on the inputs and writes the data value on the D underscore out outputs. Next, you can take one more example, that is the connection of memory components in parallel to form a wider memory. Copy that. Or here the manufacturers are going to provide semiconductor memory components in a range of capacities varying from the few kilobytes through several megabits, and at the time of writing up to 2 gigabytes of separately packaged memory components. Here typically for a given capacity, a manufacturer is going to provide the components organized with different widths, that is for example 1, 4, 8 or 16 bits per location. Here if an application for which we are designing a system needs a memory of some other width, we need to use a number of memory components in parallel. For example, if we need 16K into 48 bits of memory for an application, here we can construct it using 3 16K into 16-bit memory components. So we can connect the address and control signals together as shown in this figure, and use of the data input and output signals for each components for a slice of the overall data input and output signals. Hereby connecting the multiple memory components together to construct a memory with more locations is somewhat more involved. Here we need to partition the total number of locations among the memory components. Here for the each read and write operation, we need to arrange for the components containing the required locations to perform the operation. Here for the each read and write operation, we are going to arrange the component containing its required location to perform its operations, and for other components to remain passive. And in the many applications, the total number of locations is a power of 2, says the 2 power n, and the each memory component has smaller number of locations, that is 2 power small k. And here the number of memory components is 2 power n by 2 power k. Here the simplest approach to partitioning is to place the first 2k locations in the first components and the second 2 power k in the second component, and so on. Here we are going to place the first 2k locations in the first components and the second 2k locations in the second slot, second component, and so on. Here if the individual memory components are numbered 0, 1, 2, 3 and so, so on up to 2 power n by 2 power k minus 1. The components containing a location with address A is capital A by 2 power k. This is represented by the most significant n minus k bits of the address. This is represented by the most significant n minus k bits of the address. Here we can decode these bits to derive the select signals to activate the required memory component. Here n minus k bits can be decoded to derive select signals and to activate the required memory component. Here the address of the location A with the selected memory component is A mod 2 power k, and this is represented by the least significant k bits of the address. Here we can simply connect these bits of the address to the each of the memory components, and here the data input signals are also connected to the each of the memory components, and the data output signals are need to be driven by the memory component that is selected. So we use a multiplexer to choose the appropriate data value based on the most significant address bits. This is about the connection of memory components in parallel to wider memory. Next we can take one more example. Design a 64-bit composite memory using 416k 8-bit components. Copy this figure, which is the complete composite memory of 16k and 8-bit composite memory. Here the address bits 15 and 14 are decoded to select which of the 4 memory components is enabled for read and write operations. That is, address lines 15 and 14 are decoded to select which of the 4 components are enabled to read and write operations. These bits also control the multiplexer to select the output data from the enabled component during the read operations. And this is going to control the multiplexer to select the output from the enabled components during the read operation. Note down that figure. Over. Here the many manufacturers simplify the connection of memory components from larger memory by using a special kind of output driver called as a tri-state driver for each of the data outputs. Here the tri-state drivers also used for the buses that allow the multiple data sources to provide data in a system. Here the tri-state drivers are used for simplifying the connection of memory components for the larger memories and the buses that allow the multiple data sources to provide the data in the systems. Here a tri-state driver has three output states, that is logic low, logic high and high impedance, that is Z. Here Z is commonly used for the symbol for impedance in a circuit. Here a tri-state driver has the same output stage, but can turn both the transistor off, effectively isolating the components from the output. Here we use the memory components with the tri-state data outputs to construct a larger memory. We can omit the output multiplier shown in this figure. This is the output multiplier. Instead, we simply connect the data outputs to the memory components together. When a read operation is performed, only the selected memory components enables its data outputs. When you are going to perform the read operation, only the selected memory components are enabled. Its data outputs. All of the disabled components leave their outputs in the high impedance states. In all the other disabled components, they are going to leave the outputs in the high impedance state. Here the many memory components have the tri-state data outputs, also combine the data inputs and outputs into a single set of bidirectional components as illustrated in this figure. You can look at this figure. Here they have tri-state data outputs that combine the data inputs and outputs into a single set of bidirectional connections. Here these allows a composite memory to be constructed. Composite memory constructed using the components with common data inputs and outputs. You can go through this figure. Here for memory components implemented as a separate integrated circuits for use on a printed circuit boards. Here the separate integrated circuits are used for PCBs. The use of bidirectional connections results in significant cost savings, since there are fewer package pins and interconnecting wires. Here during the write operation, the data signals driven with the data to be written. Here during the write operation, the data signals are to be driven with the data to be written. Here the selected memory component treats the data connections as inputs and accepts the data to be written. And next it keeps its tri-state drivers disabled so as not to interface with the logic levels in the data signals. And during the read operations, it is ensured that all other drivers connected to the data signals are in the high impedance state and allow the selected memory components to enable its tri-state drivers. In the read operations, all the other drivers are connected to the data signals with high impedance states, so that it allows the selected memory components to be enabled to the tri-state drivers. Whether we can use a tri-state data connections in a memory depends on whether the implementation fabric provides them. Here the memory components implemented as a packaged integrated circuits for the use in the large system implemented on a printed circuit board. Here typically to have tri-state data outputs or tri-state bidirectional data inputs and outputs. And it derives the data signals with the data read from memory. And the memory blocks provided within ASCII and FPGAs typically do not have tri-state data connections, since the tri-state buses present some design and verification challenges in those fabrics. Here we can connect multiple memory components together in ways that permit multiple operations to proceed concurrently, and thus increasing the total number of operations completed per second. Here these schemes usually involves organizing the memory into a number of blocks, number of banks, and so each of which can perform an operation in parallel with the other banks. Here the successive addresses are assigned to different banks, since in many systems the locations are often accessed in order. Here for example, a system with 4 banks would assign locations, that is 0, 4, 8 to the bank 0, and the locations 1, 5, 9 to bank 1, and 2, 6, 10 to bank 2, and 3, 7, 11 to the bank 3. Here when the read operation is required for the location 4, the bank 0 would read that location. Moreover, the other banks would start a read and fetching locations 5, 6 and 7. By the time of read operation is required for these locations, the data would already be available from the memory. And this is the a composite memory constructed using the components with the data and inputs and outputs. Next we have memory types. We will continue in the next class. These memory types.